Welcome back to Axis Anime. My name is Henshin Ikeda, and today I'll be doing a walkthrough review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, episode 19. Now, if you remember from last episode, we find out AC/DC is still alive, but all that's left is his brain. Now, he's piggybacking on JoJo's back, and he runs into Susie Q. Now, Susie Q has the Red Stone of Asia, ironically. So we see AC/DC jump off of JoJo's back and slip right into Susie Q's body, and he actually delivers the Red Stone of Asia to a messenger who's outside in a boat and is actually delivering a package which has the Red Stone of Asia in it to Kars, which is in Switzerland, and he's basically holding Susie Q's body as a hostage to buy time so the package can be delivered. I thought that was an ingenious plan, except he's defeated, but not by JoJo, not by Zeppeli, not by Lisa, but by the sun, the UAVs. It just takes him out, and he's like, you know what? It's my time. I'm done. But at least I bought enough time so the Red Stone of Asia could be delivered. I'm like, well, JoJo respects you. I mean, that's one guy that respects you. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now we're taken to a different scene with Lisa and everyone else. They're getting ready to leave the estate in general, and they're going to hunt down the Red Stone of Asia, you know, the package, which is actually now on a train on its way to Switzerland to find, well, to head to Kars, actually. So Kars is waiting on this package, and Kars kind of knows that AC/DC has been defeated because he didn't check in on the phone. So this is going to be interesting. Now eventually Lisa, JoJo, and everyone else, they finally catch up to the train. Now it's stopped at customs, not that far away from Switzerland per se. So I thought that was definitely worth mentioning. However, the Germans show up. Yeah, the Germans come out of nowhere to pick up the Red Stone of Asia, and we find out one of the officers among the German soldiers knows JoJo. Who among the Germans, soldier-wise, officer-wise no less, knows JoJo? Food for thought. But moving on past that, we do find out this officer, as well as all the soldiers, knew exactly what was going on for the past 3 weeks with Lisa and everyone else. That's how they were able to pinpoint the Red Stone of Asia and outrun JoJo to get it. Now, eventually we find out, toward the end of the episode, it's Strohem. Yes, we get to see Kars, Strohem, and JoJo in a cabin, and it just got interesting. The shit has hit the fan, but again, that's where the episode ends, and I'll hold my final thought and rating at the end of the clip, so stay tuned. Let's dive right on in. So we open up this episode with JoJo. Now he notices Strohem has a steel prosthetic hand, and some strange machine wrapped around him, well, his face in general. I was like, dude, he's got all cyborg on. I was like, I'm smiling, I'm like, the Germans finally made something that freaking is worth it in the army. I'm like, sweet. So Strohem, you're a cyborg. How's that going for you, Tin Man? Oh man, come on, it's just hilarious to see him how he's dressed. I mean, I thought Santa Fe took him out. To see him a second time, I like this guy. I can't wait to see what he's capable of doing. Now, I do find out, well, we do kind of find this scene a little more vague in my opinion. And when I say vague, because we see Strohem fights Kars, but you're wondering, a cyborg versus a demigod per se, something doesn't feel right, in my opinion. Like, it's like, you know, cyborgs really can't die unless you burn them out completely. I mean, unless they have their memory backed up on some chip somewhere else in case their body shuts down. A cyborg can keep fighting, and a demigod technically, or a pillar man in this case, I don't think they really have a limit other than the sunlight per se. So interesting fight. So we're taking to a different scene with Kars. Now he's pointing out that Wham is in Greece. So we know Wham is in Greece, but he doesn't want to leave JoJo to linger around. You know, he's like, you know what? Yeah, JoJo, you're next. It's going somewhere, and you know what? Wham may be in Greece, but I'm going to end this now because of what you did to AC/DC. It's on like Donkey Kong. So we're taking to a different scene with Strohem. Now, ironically, his left arm bends enough to attack Kars. I was like, what? His arm was like on one side, then just flips around. Like, I want one of those. Those look pretty cool. Kind of be a little painful if you weren't a cyborg, though. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Moving on past that, we do find out he uses I kind of forget what he actually uses, but all I can say is Strohem, he has his brass about his power. I mean, his power is like badass. I love his power in general, but apparently he keeps bragging about him being stronger than Santa Fe. I was like, his capabilities are like 10 times, 20 times stronger than Santa Fe's power, which, if you remember correctly, they were in Mexico when that happened. And he's pointing out, well, Strohem's power is 10 times, 20 times stronger. I'm like, Okay, man, you are definitely talking up a storm. You better deliver, buddy. So we're taking to a different scene with Stroham, and he's using his heavy machine gun. Yeah, he's got a heavy machine gun that's like built into his freaking chest, and it comes right out. I'm like, this just gets better and better. I mean, really, it does. So moving on past that, we do find out his machine gun can fire 600 rounds per minute. 600 rounds per minute. But you know what's kind of sad? These rounds aren't special. I mean, these bullets, there's nothing inside of them. It's just metal, normal bullets. So I'm like, well, if you're gonna make a gun like that into someone it's like part of your freaking body, wouldn't you want them to be pillarized per se? You know, pillarized, pillar man type anti-bullets? Food for thought there, man. Food for freaking thought. They just look like normal bullets to me. But sorry, I digress. So we're taking to a different scene with cars. And guess what? It's a direct hit. Stroham attacks him directly with his machine gun, and I love it. However, Cars, he has a blade which is glowing, comes right out of his arm, and his blade is glowing. It's called Gleaming Blade Mode. I was like, it looks like a bunch of shark tooths on a blade if you look really close, so it's not really sparkling, it's just blades moving around really quick, like little shark teeth. But it's called Gleaming Blade Mode. And I thought, okay, well, wait a minute. Stroham just attacked you with one hell of a freaking attack, and now you're pulling something called the Gleaming Blade Mode? Okay, I'll bite. What's up with that, man? So we're moving on past it to a different scene with Cars, and he cuts all of the bullets in half. All the bullets that, Stroham, all 600 bullets or however many bullets that were thrown at, Cars, he cuts them in half. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. No freaking way. You're not the Flash, but, you're no Green Lantern. So I was like, this, I can't explain it, but it was like, before you know it, all the bullets are cut in half. I'm like, okay. And Stroham, he notices Cars right away. Stroham's power, I'm like, because he's a cyborg, obviously he can analyze the situation a little more faster because he has the naked eye on one side and a robotic eye in the next eye. He analyzes the situation and he knows exactly what's happening with Cars. And he admits he's no match for Cars, plain and simple. And he gets cut in half. Stroham gets cut in half by Cars. I'm like, oh shit. Already? You're done? Huh? No, he's not. In fact, Stroham is still freaking alive. But he can't really do anything though since he's been cut in half and slightly dismantled. But he's still alive. The Tin Man is still alive. So we're taking to a different scene with Cars. And he's telling Stroham that Santa Fe was just their lapdog. Yeah, a guard dog. Santa Fe was nothing. Just a mere bodyguard per se. Nothing more, nothing less. So when you compare yourself to Santa Fe, you're not really comparing yourself to anyone. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Moving on past that, we do find out JoJo is overly analyzing everything. Say it one more time. JoJo is overly analyzing everything. I'm like, sometimes he thinks stuff up too much. Just kill him. Dead. Done. Just don't think, man. When you think, you always fuck it up, plain and simple. Remember, that's how you got into this whole 30-day thing with, having double rings on your body. Well, you only have one ring now, but you know where I'm going with this. So we're taking to a different scene with Cars, and guess what? Cars now has the Redstone of Asia, so it's done. He's got what he came for. He has the Redstone of Asia. However, Stroham, yeah, he uses his ultraviolet eye beam. I was like, what? Ultraviolet eye beam? His eye just like shoots an ultraviolet ray like the sun, just right at, Cars. I thought, what the hell? So now the Redstone of Asia falls, and it's just falling down the cliff, or should I say down the mountainside, and now it's a race between Cars and JoJo to get the Redstone of Asia, and Stroham is kind of out of it. Now again, Lisa and everyone else, they notice what's going on, they feel the vibrations, and they go off to see what's really happening. Now moving on past that, we do find out Cars, yeah, he uses a foot saber. I don't know how to explain this. He uses a foot saber. Like he has an arm saber, he's got a foot saber. I was like, yeah, it gets deep into JoJo, by the way. JoJo's not really liking this. And they're falling off the cliff, by the way. They are now fully off the freaking cliff, and they're chasing the Redstone of Asia. And yeah, JoJo, he's got a saber in him. Ouch. Just putting that out there, ouch. Now, JoJo tries to hold on to these icicles and whatnot, but that's really not helping. It's not helping at all, in my opinion. I don't know how to explain really what he's going through. I mean, he sees these icicles, and he's grabbing them with his ripple energy to try to, hold on to something. It's not really happening. He's still slipping, so we're taking to a different scene with JoJo, and he hides behind the Redstone of Asia. I don't know how else to describe that. He's being attacked by Cars, and he's like, you know what? Green light. Oh, well, not green light, like red light. holds up the redstone evasion like, yeah, you can't attack me while I have the redstone evasion because you're gonna break it, you know? I was like, you're just thinking about this now? Now? Oh my god, man. Last minute decisions suck for you. Seriously, but hey, to each their own. At least your plan worked for now. That's all I'm going to say about that. But we see him use a ripple kick, which was freaking amazing. So he does use a ripple kick, so that kind of buys him some more time. However, JoJo, he connects the falling icicles, if that makes any sense, while he's still falling. But he connects the other icicles that are falling into rope with his ripple energy, obviously. And he's trying to, you know, grab onto something so he doesn't fall to his doom. Because technically, if Cars falls to his doom, well, he's just going to brush it off. And, you know, JoJo, he's a human, so he's fucked. Plain and simple, he's fucked. So we're taking to a different scene with Zeppeli, and Zeppeli actually backs JoJo up and grabs onto him. Well, you know, because he's using the icicles and whatnot to hold on to something. So we see Zeppeli jump right in and help JoJo. So I'm like, okay, so JoJo is saved. Cars, yeah, he's not so lucky. He actually falls and hurts himself. So we're taking to a different scene with Cars, and he's now picking himself up after falling to his doom, and he's laughing like a weird laugh. He's like, JoJo, you got balls. Oh my god. Did you just say you got balls, man? Like, dude, you got guts for what you did? I think so. So we see Cars complimenting JoJo. So to Cars, JoJo is now on the same level as him. I'm like, okay. But he's still acting kind of weird. So we're taking to a different scene. Now, kind of more of an update. So he basically, this is like we have 5 days apparently, this is, like I said, a general update. We have 5 days later until, you know, Wham actually comes back and they have this fight. I'm like, okay. Because remember, JoJo still has that one ring on his heart, and if he doesn't defeat, you know, Wham, well, he's going to be poisoned. So again, we have 5 days left until, you know, that actually happens. Moving on past that, we're taking to a different scene with JoJo. And JoJo, now they're in Switzerland. They're actually at St. Mortez. Now, I thought this was kind of funny. He's playing with a little cat with, you know, shrimp or whatever, fish. I believe it was salmon. And he's, you know, this is JoJo. You know, he just got done pretty much, kind of not defeating Cars, but, you know, getting away from Cars, and they're just sitting there shooting the breeze, and he's playing with the cat. I thought it was funny. So we're taking to a different scene now. Moving on past that, guess what? Everyone stares at an abandoned, it looked like an abandoned hotel, and apparently this was the last known address that was given for the package, which was going to be delivered to, you know, Cars or whoever was supposed to get the package that had the redstone of Asia. So I figure AC/DC probably sent it to Cars. So Cars is probably held up in this hotel, which is abandoned. You know, the shutters are all closed down, so it's a dead giveaway that Cars is probably inside. So definitely worth mentioning. So apparently Lisa and everyone else are now targeting that hotel. They're like, we got to do something. Cars is definitely in that hotel. What are we gonna do? I don't really know, in my opinion. Moving on past that, we do find out everyone wants to attack the building. So now everyone wants to attack the building. However, Lisa turns to JoJo. It's like, well, what do you want to do? I was sitting down when I heard this. JoJo turns around and was like, we're not going to do it. I'm like, this is the first smart thing he's ever said. Which Zeppeli turns around and says, you fucking kidding me? Do you remember what our grandfathers went through and all that other crap? No, we're doing this. We are freaking doing this. And they're just duking it out. They're beating the crap out of each other just because JoJo... This is what JoJo believes. If we go into that hotel, even when it's daylight outside, it's too easy. There's got to be traps or something. So why not let, you know, Cars come to us? At least we get to pick the field of battle, per se. It makes sense, but, you know, Zeppeli, he doesn't want to hear anything about it. So he writes, after they beat the crap out of each other, Zeppeli writes JoJo off, and he heads to the building, and he's going to take out Cars himself. However, we see Lisa, and she tells her subordinate, Mason, to basically go with Zeppeli and to stop him if need be. So I thought, okay, that was definitely kind of interesting. But again, that's where the episode ends. As for final thoughts, okay, well, is Cars actually in the hotel? We really don't know. Now, what is he capable of doing? Does he have any traps set up? Yet again, we really don't know. And is it smart to have the redstone of Asia still kept there in one place? Why not ship it to a random location? Just put that out there. I mean, why keep the one thing that everyone's after on you? You're going to be targeted. I mean, it's great to have it on you so you get to pick the field of battle, but now you're just a target. But again, that is it for my final thoughts. As per my rating, 4 out of 5. Plain and simple, 4 out of 5. I know I really wasn't that enthusiastic when I was doing my walkthrough and review, but you know, I had a lot on my mind when I was talking about it. But I love seeing Strohem, so I'm giving a lot of credit to seeing Strohem. I love their fight. Not so much seeing Cars versus JoJo. That was, eh. But again, Strohem, freaking amazing, and I loved every moment of it. Was there any emotion, drama? Not so much. New information? Yeah, we know where Wham's at. He's in Greece. That's about it. That's your new information. But again, final rating 4 out of 5. But that is it for my walkthrough and review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure episode 19. Definitely comment down below. Let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Definitely subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and follow me if you like. But let me know what you thought of this episode, and let me know what you think's gonna happen in the next episode that's coming out. But again, guys, that ends it for now. And I gotta hit the bricks, and I gotta go. And before I go, I gotta say it, and I always say it. You can't stop the access, but you can watch the feed. I'll see you later, guys.